Since Israel took control of the West Bank in 1967, the issue of Jewish settlements has remained one of the most polarizing topics both inside and outside the country. Their legality is disputed, and recent violent incidents involving settlers, including several high-profile cases, have drawn widespread condemnation. Critics accuse Israel's right-wing government, featuring many members with strong pro-settlement sympathies or affiliations, of turning a blind eye to this violence. And it is rearing its head once again.
We are devastated that our beloved Saif Allah Musallat, nicknamed Saif, was brutally beaten to death in our family's land by illegal Israeli settlers who were attempting to steal it.
On the 11th of July this year, Florida-born Saifullah Musallat was killed in an alleged ambush by Israeli settlers near the town of Sinjil. Whilst the origin and the story of his death is disputed, it angered US Ambassador Mike Huckabee, a proponent of the settlement movement, who called it a, quote, criminal and terrorist act.
Mike Huckabee, he's a huge friend, a brave partner of Judea and Samaria and of the State of Israel. And exactly like that I, as part of this community, leader in this community, can say that we are against this terrorist, he said, okay, I'm with him.
This follows several incidents of arson attacks and vandalism of Palestinian land and property, and, in some instances, assault and murder.
We're the last people in the world to, God forbid, ever endorse any kind of violence, is the settlement. We're anti that, we're people of peace. We never were for that in any case.
It's hard to measure the volume of settler attacks, as many go unaccounted for and data can be unreliable. According to the UN, there have been 757 settler attacks this year, a 19% rise on last year. But this number includes IDF operations and non-violent acts, such as visiting the Temple Mount.
It's extremely distorted, unfortunately, and that becomes, they take an incident or two, they blow it up, and this becomes the mainstream. This is what's going on when it's a lie. It's a lie, it's not the truth.
Many feel that settlers are emboldened by the actions of the Israeli government, especially Finance Minister Bezalel Smotrich and National Security Minister Itamar Ben-Gvir, to carry out these attacks. Both Smotrich and Ben-Gvir live in settlements and have pushed for the full annexation of the West Bank. As Finance Minister, Smotrich has invested a record amount of money into the West Bank. Whilst most departments have faced cuts due to Israel's wars, $73 million was allocated to settlement projects. By comparison, the Culture and Sports Ministry received a fraction of that at just over $1 million. And this doesn't include the $2 billion allocated over 5 years to improve roads in the area. But whilst money is coming in from the government, it could dry up from elsewhere. The Irish Parliament has introduced a bill that would ban imports from the West Bank, citing what they call apartheid policies, such as limiting movement of Palestinians and making them live under military law, as opposed to civilian law for Israelis. If Ireland passes this bill, it could harm West Bank businesses, such as the Kabir Winery in Elon Moreh, a settlement in the northern West Bank overlooking Nablus, one of the largest Palestinian cities. Its co-owner, Eliav Hillel, said that he is not worried about the Irish plan, as most of his exports go to countries with a large Jewish diaspora, such as the US or Canada. His concern, as is the main concern of many fellow settlers, is security.
25 years we are not employing Palestinians. We had a terror attack here in Elon Moreh, and they killed almost the whole family of a Gavish family. And from then, we decided not to employ Palestinians.
And terror attacks are an all too common factor of life in the West Bank.
I was shot, my hand was on the steering wheel, I got one bullet on this side of my arm. I was hit with another bullet on this side of the arm. And then a bullet came through my shoulder. I don't know if you could see the entrance, into my chest. And then one hit me in the head.
In March 2023, former US Marine David Stern was shot whilst driving with his wife near Hawara. Despite his wounds, he fired back at the terrorist, killing him and driving to safety. Stern, his wife, and 4 children live in Alumot, an outpost not recognized by the international community or the Israeli government. But despite his ordeal, he says that he feels safe here. But in order to feel safe, he feels a need to suppress his trauma.
When you live in a place like this, there's like a certain level of maybe apathy is the word, where you go on and you put it out of your mind. Sometimes when I do think about it, of course, especially with the children, I think about it more. But for myself, I go around freely, I don't really think about it much.
Palestinian terror attacks in the West Bank have decreased this year due to an increased IDF presence in the area and the ongoing wide-scale Operation Iron Wall. But they haven't stopped. the most recent of which took the life of an Israeli in Gush Etzion on July the 10th. But despite the danger, David wouldn't want to live anywhere else.
The people here are very good people out here, very tight-knit communities. For the kids, there are a lot of small reasons, and of course there's just a very deep sense of purpose and mission that we feel being here, that we're contributing in a meaningful way.
People move to the settlements for a variety of reasons: cheap housing, a political statement, or in the case of Rabbi Moshe Goldsmith, who was one of the first people who moved to Itamar after the Israeli government recognized the settlement, it is because of deep religious ties to the land.
We're the only country who has its borders defined in the Bible is the state of Israel. Well, our history lies within these stones. Look in the city of the matriarch, Hebron in the south. Here, the city of Shechem is where Joseph is laid to rest. I mean, everywhere we turn, we have biblical sites, and that's what connects us here. If you separate the biblical connection to the land, then we lose identity. We lose our identity as a people here.
Settlements are viewed by many as the main stumbling block preventing peace in the region. The Palestinians believe that they were built on stolen land. Israel refutes this claim, but also believes that it is a security necessity to have a presence in the West Bank.
Just 7 kilometers, 4 miles between Kfar Saba, huge city in Israel, to Kalkilia and Tulkarem. So everybody can imagine what's going to be if the state of Israel will be really close to Palestinian state, that we know who's going to be the next leadership of the state. The most people in Israel understand that we can't allow no one to build a terror state in the middle of Israel.
The international community is pushing very strongly for a two-state solution, with France recently announcing recognition of a Palestinian state and some of Israel's historic allies likely to follow suit. But peace can only be achieved if all sides believe in it. And for now, no one in the West Bank, Israeli or Palestinian, truly believes that this is a viable solution. And until that changes, the problems that have persisted for the last 60 years will remain.